What's up, y'all? I'm so happy to see you guys. We're gonna wait. We're gonna open the room up. We're gonna open the room up and wait for people to come in. Hey, Warren. Hey, Greg. I'll wave at y'all. Boom, boom. So just waiting for everybody to fill in, slowly trickling. They've been trickling in the last few shows. I don't know what that's about. Y'all know 7 o'clock on Thursdays is my time. Y'all know that. You can't be busy at 7 o'clock on Thursdays. That's just not a thing, right? So wait for everybody to join in. And then Warren, we're going to get this started here in a few. So, hey, Miss Wonderful. I love that name. Y'all come in, relax, get your popcorn, take your seat, okay? This is gonna be a fun show today. So this is episode 21. Next week is the last episode of the season, and we are done with season 1, y'all. You know, round of applause for Dear Future Husband in season 1. Hey, Greg. And so, we're done with season 1. Hey, Miss Wonderful. After next week. So I'm excited, y'all. Not to be done with y'all. That's not what I'm excited for. But I'm excited for what's to come. I have a lot of stuff in store for y'all in season 2. Hey, Keish. Have a lot of stuff in store for season 2 for y'all. So that's going to be amazeballs. Hey, D. Bogan. And so I just can't wait to share what's on the horizon, right? So let me just throw out a couple things. We are looking for sponsors for season 2. So if you are interested in being a sponsor, shoot me a DM at Issa_lawyer, okay? And then make sure y'all are following me at Issa_lawyer. Make sure you're following my guest that's going to come on shortly. Make sure that you are on YouTube and you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, which is at Reality TV 1, at Reality TV 1. So hey, Terrence. So make sure y'all are following all the things, right? So y'all can keep up with all that's happening. But super excited to be ending our first season on a good note. Again, next week is the last show of season 1. And then in a few months, we'll gear up for season 2, y'all. So make sure y'all stay tuned for all of that. All right. So this is Dear Future Husband. My love language. That's supposed to say my love language at the top. I see that it says my live language. Never mind that. My love language is food, shopping, and trips. Hey, put yourself first. And so that's what today's show is about. I have my amazing guest, Warren, that's about to, I'm about to bring him on the stage. Again, y'all, make sure that y'all are following everybody. Support. And by the way, if y'all didn't know, I'm an attorney, right? So if you need any help with trademarks, business contracts, entertainment law, hit my line, talk to me nice, all right? Hey, girl, hey, put yourself first. Okay, let's bring Warren on and let's get this going, shall we? Hey, little bro, I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, man. Feeling good. Everything's kosher.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being a guest. And are you just ready? Hey, Gigi the Queen, are you just ready to get up into it?
Hey, look, I'm on your platform. It's your world square. I'm just trying to get a nut. You feel me, though?
You get on my nerves. My Italian nerves, though. You know that, right? So if y'all haven't noticed, me and Warren, we have we're friends. We have a relationship offline. And so we're friends. We talk often. And so, that's why he's giving me a hard time and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Miss Poltergeist. Okay, Miss
That's
Poltergeist. Oh, okay, Miss Polter. Hey, Missy.
She said because she made people turn their head.
I'm so sick of you, Missy. I just don't want you to know I'm sick of you, okay? Missy is Warren's wife, by the way. So,
Yeah.
anywho, that lets the squirrel out the bag. You're married.
Yes, that I am.
Okay.
That I am.
Okay. She says, "Hey, love." And hey, Donnell. So you're married. How long have y'all been married?
8 years. We've been together for 10, going on 11 since 2012.
Okay, Nice. Do you mind sharing the story of how y'all met?
Nah, absolutely not. Actually, right here on this wonderful Instagram, we actually met on IG back before they had DMs. I jumped on one of them, 360 weeks ago pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah, but actually, in all seriousness, and she gonna refute it, but unfortunately for her, she not on the live, so it's my version.
It's your story.
Um,
It's your
yeah,
story, baby.
so
Let's go.
yeah, so what happened was she had posted a picture. Somehow we became friends. I don't even know when we became friends. Um, I had commented on one of her pictures. I was like, "Hey, you pretty as hell, though, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't pay no attention because this is early Instagram, 2012, so I wasn't really like on it. I was more on Facebook, Twitter at the time. So she said thank you. I never saw the notification. So one day I get on Twitter. I go in my DMs on Twitter because I was on Twitter a lot, and it was her. She was like, "I said thank you," and I'm like,
Not I said.
"Yeah, yeah, I said thank you," and I'm like, "Who was this talking to me?" And then she was like, "Oh, you have left a comment on my photo on Instagram." So I went to look. I was like, "Oh, it's you." Then I'm like, I mean, I'm saying though, like, I mean, I did say it, and you said thank you, so I can say you're welcome. You feel me? So that's how we met on IG, and then truthfully, it was very early on. We meshed super early on. The first day when we were living about 2 hours from each other.
Oh,
She
wow.
lived close to where I went to college at, and I actually was going up to visit some of my homies anyway. The next day, um, we ended up talking all day that Friday. I was going up there anyway, so I stopped through. We chilled, saw her, all that good stuff, and it was like I had known her for a really long time. So
Mm-hmm.
like I just slid through, just chilling. She actually even cooked for me, which was crazy. I was like, oh, okay, cool, like cool, chill, talk, ate. Um, and so the next day, so that was Saturday when I
Missy
went up
is
there.
rolling
The next day,
her eyes, by the way. She does not agree with this version
she
of
does.
events.
She does. Oh, she know the truth. She know the truth. So the next day, I came up there on the Saturday. The next day on Sunday, I actually called her. I was like, I need to do this the right way. So I actually came back on that Sunday with flowers and took her out on like an official date.
Oh,
Um, on that because I was like, I should have dated like just been dating instead of just me like coming to your crib to chill. But I was like, we had just met, like we just talked. We weren't even nothing like that. We just talk. So I actually wanted to take her out on an actual date. And then we just didn't. I don't think I missed a day of talking to her since then. I don't think I've gone a day without talking to her since that day. And
oh,
if it hadn't been more
oh.
than one day. Yeah, it hadn't been more than one day.
That you have. Okay, so y'all been joined at the hip since day one. Then, like
Yeah,
it's
pretty
been,
much.
you locked in together. You seen that thing, the TikTok?
Yeah,
You locked in.
yeah. If you locked in, ain't no switching up.
Oh,
Yeah,
there it
yeah.
is. I'm like locked in together. That's not the song, but it's you know. And I was
Yeah,
thinking I was gonna do it by myself
I feel you. I feel you.
because I ain't got nobody to do it with. So, anywho, but y'all should think about doing it.
Yeah, nah,
Anyway,
that's how it works.
it's a
We
little
locked
TikTok
in.
idea. Yeah. So, okay. So y'all met. Y'all. How long did it take for you to get married? 2 years.
Um,
Is that what?
no, not even quite two. We met in June of 2012, and we got married. No. So it was two. We got engaged in November of 2013, and then married August of 2014. So about 2 years by the time we were married. I was thinking engaged, but yeah, about 2 years.
Okay. Okay. And y'all have a beautiful little girl now. How old is
Yeah,
she?
yeah. She looked just like a mama. She's three, or
She
about three and a half, I guess
do.
now, but three.
Spitting image.
Yeah,
And she acts
yeah.
like her mama is what I'm gathering.
Yeah, she got some of my characteristics, but she definitely got a mama attitude. Yeah, she definitely got that. Yeah, she definitely got that.
So
Yeah.
so okay. So we
Yeah.
our show is about dear future husband. I like my love language is food, traveling,
Hmm.
and shopping,
Yeah.
something like that. It's and not in that order. But
Yeah, yeah.
that's what our show is about. And so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because it's very interesting. Let's talk about the food part.
Okay.
Because I was just talking to somebody today, like a homeboy of mine, and I was like, listen, I don't think I'm gonna get that crab boil from anybody to share for Valentine's. It ain't looking good for your girl, y'all. It looked like I'm gonna have to go get my own crab boil, okay? And I'm okay. I'm gonna go get my own crab boil on Tuesday, okay? But food is my love language. If we're arguing and I'm mad, and the way to get me unmad is to be like, you wanna go eat? I'm like, okay. Like that's a real thing, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about women breaking the most at food, traveling, and then shopping is my order. Yeah, food is at the top. Food is absolutely at the top.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think mine changed. I think it's food, shopping, and then traveling. But either way, let's talk about it, Warren.
Okay.
You told me something about food. What's the thing with food?
So we were kind of talking like next week is Valentine's Day, for instance, right? So one of the things that I had to learn about her in her love language very early on, my wife don't like flowers. So, people normally think, we're going to get the roses and this, that, and the third. Yeah, not Missy. She don't do the flowers. Like, she don't bring me no flowers. She like, ain't going to do nothing but I don't know how to take care of flowers. So what I do for her, and she don't like the chocolates because she don't really do chocolate. So what I knew and learned about her, like I get her nothing but cakes. So I may go get her, like, instead of a box of chocolates, I go get the variety pack so she can just go through and get all the different ones she wants. Because that's what means to, something to her. That's her love language. Same thing with the food deal, just in general for her. If she's mad, I know to feed her. That's where we start at. Yeah, we start there, and then we start on process of elimination. We always start with the food.
That food usually is gonna knock my attitude out.
Right.
Food is, I may, now I'm gonna talk to you, be like I was mad, but now I got some food in me, so and I dance with the food.
Right.
I dance when I eat.
Okay.
And so now I got some food in me, and so I might not be as mad anymore. Right? Food is a real thing. Women breaking the most at saying, offer me food, cook for me, send me food, etc. Listen, the cooking for me thing, that is so sexy. Warren, do you cook for her?
Okay, so wait, that's right. I'm the only one on the live, so she can't refute none of this. No. Now from time to time I will, especially breakfast. That was actually one of the things she used to love early on, because in the morning she wouldn't get up, so I would always cook a whole lot of breakfast for her, because that would actually make her get up. Every so often I will cook dinner. I'm one of those OG Trader Joe meal people. Yeah, I'm OG with the Trader Joe. Okay. I will get, hey, it's all truth, boo. It's all truth. But I will get on the grill and stuff. But from time to time I will cook. But no, definitely the breakfast for, that's why the little one is so attached to bacon, because I'm sure she gets that directly from her mama.
She is attached to bacon.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of where that comes from.
Okay. So hold on, we got some things about cooking. Hold on.
Yeah.
Put yourself first says, laugh my fucking ass off. Me too. Joseph said food make the mood better. Absolutely makes the mood better, and even sexier when my man is cooking the food. But I will allow bought food as well. It's not hard to please me at all. Women breaking the most that it's unsafe to argue with me if I'm hungry, and if she ain't told the entire truth on this here live, okay? Listen, if I get hangry, and we don't even have to be on bad terms. We don't even have to be arguing. But I do get hangry, I'm quiet, my mood is salty, you know what I'm saying? Until I'm fed. I'm like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm like a zoo animal or something. I don't know, Warren. Like you gotta feed like you gotta feed me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's terrible.
No, look, I
smile when I eat, huh?
Oh, I told you I was gonna share a story with you about that, about being hangry. Because I get hangry too. But when you were kind of talking, like she has such a strong personality. So like when I get hangry, I just get quiet. Like I'm just not saying nothing, and then she talking to me, and I'm like, yeah, man, but I'm not really saying much. But with her, this one particular time, actually in the leg, the crab legs. So she really wanted crab legs, but she wanted to go to what is it called? Red Fin or Red Hook? It's like out by Ingram. And we were like
Mm-hmm.
way on the north side somewhere, like out by Shirts.
Oh.
And yeah, we were going home because we lived like in that direction,
Mm-hmm.
but not that far in that
Mm-hmm.
direction. So, she was like, well, I really want that, but I don't really feel like driving over there. So I'm like, hey, I drive, Book. I know you ain't 8. I drive. And she was like, I don't want you to have to do that. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, well, where you want to go? And she was like, well, I might go to what is Smash and Crab, but she was like, I don't really want, Red Hook, Red Hook. She was like, I might go to Smash and Crab, and I'm like, okay. And she was like, no, I don't really want Smash and Crab. She was like, I guess I just go to Popeyes because she was like, I can get the shrimp, but they ain't never really got them because they ain't never got them when I go. I was like, okay, well, yeah, Popeyes, that's cool. And then she was like, but if I'm gonna get chicken anyway, I just go to KFC and get the little the
Wait
little
a
popcorn
minute.
chicken. And I'm
Wait
like,
a
okay.
minute.
I'm like, that's cool. She was like, well, what you want? I was like, I'm good with whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I do the popcorn chicken. That's cool. And then she was like, but I don't really want that because I really wanted seafood. I was like, well, let's go to the Smash and Crab. She was like, but you don't eat nothing there. I'm like, but you know what? It's cool. I eat it. So because I can tell she kind of hangry. I'm like, I eat it. And then she was like, yeah, but I want you to enjoy it too, especially we're going to spend that much money on it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, hey, I eat. Don't worry about it. I'm like, why don't we go to Red Hook? I'm like, hey, it's cool. I take you. And then, this kind of goes back and forth. At this point in time, we done stopped at Dollar General or no, Dollar Tree. And I had asked her to get me something to drink before she got out of the car, because I stayed in the car. And she didn't even hear me. And then she came out with nothing to drink. So I'm a little frustrated now too.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got in the car and was like, so where are we going? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. We go wherever. Long story short. So she kept asking, we going in circles. And I was like, so Missy, I have a serious question. I'm talking in this tone because I'm always real calm and chill. And I said, why do you keep asking me if you don't want my answer? Just choose a place. You keep asking me where I want to go, and then you don't take my answer. And she said, you know what? I'm not even hungry anymore. I'm going home. Just take me home. So we go home. So I take her home. I drop her off. I'm like, look, she gets out the car, ain't going in. I didn't even back in the garage. I let her go in, and I leave. And I was like, look, and then I text her, look, Faith and I are on the way to Red Hook. I'm going to come back to the house with crab legs. It would behoove you to tell me how to order them so you get what you want, because I'm coming back with something.
Right.
And I don't want it to be the wrong thing, but I am
Right.
coming back with something.
Because I'm not going to do this with you.
Yeah, I'm coming back with something.
Mm-hmm.
So I came back with it. And then after she ate, she apologized and was just fine. She was like, thank you for going. I was like, I knew that's what you wanted.
After
I'm like,
all
let's go get it.
After
Yeah, I'm like, let's go get it.
Here's the thing. We don't know. I don't know why it's like this. I don't know what I want to eat half the time either, right? And when I do, I do. But there are times where I'm like, yeah, I don't know. What do you have a taste for? And, he's like, I don't know. What do you have? And this is back and forth. And I need somebody to make an executive decision, right? And I'll figure out what's on the menu. But that like, all those memes about women don't know where they want to eat. Unfortunately, those are one of the true memes, y'all.
Yeah, no,
at least when it comes to me.
No, it's pretty much all women.
Don't do that, because there's some. Let me see, y'all. If women, I'm taking a poll on this thing. Do you know what you want to eat most of the time or no? I said most of the time. Yeah. So 90% of the time, do you know what you want to eat? Yes or no? Comment below.
And before y'all answer, don't get up here on Obama's internet and start lying.
This is Beyonce's internet. Anywho, women breaking the mold said one thing my ex-husband did well was cook all the time, and he was a fire cook. Child, listen. Hey, Michelle, put yourself first. Says I dance too when I eat. And it's funny, like when I'm meeting somebody new and they're getting to know me, and it's like that Elmo, that Elmo meme. That's what it's like, because I am, and I don't even know I'm doing it. And there is a meme that says, let her dance when she eats. That's the attitude leaving her body. And I can't argue that. Yeah. I can't argue that meme. I think that's what it is.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see
with
that.
With the Elmo. Okay. So, what's up, T? She says, I get more energy when I see my man cooking. Listen, it is the men, if y'all don't know what to do for Valentine's, okay, let me tell you, it is a sexy, sexy thing to see your man up in there cooking for you. That's, and just and the pots is clanging and thinging, and he's, because y'all cook messy. Y'all don't clean as you cook. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are messy as bell peppers everywhere. onions all over the place on the floor and stuff. But it's nothing sexier than seeing your man cook. So guys, if you don't know what to get her for Valentine's, that is a very dope Valentine's Day present. Okay. Woman Breaking the Mold says hangry is an emotion. It absolutely is. I concur. Yeah, I'm KK says Red Hook. Oh, he's the one who told you Red Hook. Women Breaking the Mold. Exactly. I don't know what I want to eat. If I'm hungry, just make a decision. I'll eat something. There's something on the menu that I'll get, Warren. There's something on the menu that I'll get. Okay. Yeah, I'm KK says we as men really don't care. Name a place and we'll eat there.
Exactly. I was like, I'd do anything for my wife. Just wherever you want to go, just tell me. We'll go. We will go. Doesn't matter.
Listen, you ready for this poll answers? You ready for the poll answers?
Yeah.
I got them. Okay, so the question was, women, 90% of the time, do you know where you want to eat? That was the question, right? Making sure I'm not.
Yep.
Was it Warren? Okay. So here we go. Nope.
Yeah.
No. I eat when it's cooked, so no. I don't want to make the decision. Nope. So the overall answers is no.
No.
And Terrence says, wow, every woman that said no is lying. Wait, what? How, Terrence? How they're saying they don't know where they want to eat? I think, right? Did I ask that question?
No. Okay. So, I'm actually going to address that because Terrence is actually telling the truth. Well, into a point. So every woman knows where they want to eat, but y'all also be knowing where y'all don't want to eat because no matter what I say, it's a wrong answer. Like I just literally have to ride up. Yeah, right.
But
so I'm like,
we don't know what we have a taste for.
Right.
Oh,
he said you answered
the other way. Did I? Yeah. Okay. No. What did I ask? Listen.
Yeah, I'm about to say maybe I
lost remember. Put it the way that I asked. Somebody write it in the comment section how I asked the question. Because there's all kinds of confusion here.
Then pin the question, man. Pin
it because we confused on this live. So anyway. Yeah. Okay. So what I like, and this is, we talked about this one. I want to bring this up. You and your wife have very different personalities. You are on Terrence says, I do smoke, so don't mind me. I hate you, Terrence. I'm not finna fool with you on today. Don't be out here causing confusion, sir. I'm done. You and your wife have very polar opposite personalities. Good, bad, or indifferent. Y'all are different. And so from what I've gathered, now again, although I know Missy, I talk to you the most, right? And so I know you're pretty calm, cool, and you're pretty even keel. Let me change that. You are not as spicy. Yeah. And she's spicy is what I got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
She's spicy, you're not as spicy. Okay.
Right. Agreed. That's true.
That's true. Okay. So how first of all, I like that dynamic, right? And I like that dynamic because I too have some spice in me, right? And not in a bad way, y'all. No. And not in a bad way, y'all. Not saying that, cussing your man up and down. That's not what I mean. But just meaning that, a strong personality. We say how we feel. We say what's on our mind to a certain extent, right? To a certain extent. So there's my disclaimer, right? And just have a strong personality. And so I like the fact that didn't scare you off, right?
No, not at all. No, matter of fact, fun story. I'm actually going to jump right into this one because you said that, and I don't want to forget. I said we met on Instagram. I kid you not. We met on Instagram. We text for a little bit. When I called her. The first thing out of her mouth after hello, can I speak to Missy? I think I called her, can I speak to Missy? Or whoever said what. First thing she was like, if you're just trying to have sex, can you tell me that? That was the first thing out her mouth. And I was like, hello. How are you today? She was like, no, because I don't have time to be wasting my time. And if that's what you want, then just tell me that so that I know where we stand at. And I was like, Well, I don't know. I've only been talking to you 13 seconds now, so I have zero idea if that's what I want. But yeah, so to your point, it did not scare me off, and she was like that from literally
Jump.
moment number one,
From jump.
right off the jump.
And nothing in you was like, this might be too much. I don't want, I don't want somebody who's this vocal. Nothing in you was.
No, well, I told you to keep it 100 with the, I told you I was just coming out of a bad relationship with my ex,
Mhm.
and I couldn't trust her. And the one thing that with
The
Missy,
ex. You couldn't
yeah, the
trust
ex,
the
I
ex.
couldn't
Okay.
trust the ex. I couldn't trust her because it was some paternity issues with the baby, this, that, and the
Mhm.
third, and I was still very much so hurt from that and traumatized. And the
Mhm.
one thing about Missy very early on, which I kind of shared with you, I knew that I could trust
Mhm.
her
Mhm.
because she does always speak her mind,
Mhm.
even when it's sometimes not. Well, let me not say inappropriate because she's not inappropriate, but there are times when I probably one of the things that we taught each other and learned. She's taught me how to be more assertive, and I taught her that you don't have to fight every single battle.
Everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like every battle doesn't have to be fought.
Yes.
Let's save it for the ones that really, really need it. Um, because she always says exactly what she's thinking
Right.
on it.
Right.
But that allowed me to trust her,
Okay.
which was the most important thing to me at that present moment, and still now.
And I can say that is something that I've learned as I got older and wiser is that everything is not a battle. And I don't have to say everything that I think,
Right.
right? Because I was one of those, especially when I was younger, that I said everything that I thought,
Yeah.
and that was me just trying to be transparent and just so that you didn't have to guess about how I felt, where I stood, right? And good, bad, or indifferent, it was something that I had to learn to like, hey, okay, I don't have to say, like this ain't gonna change nothing.
Right.
I don't have to say that. But no, I love that. I love that because she is very strong, very outspoken, and a girl after my own heart. So I like that. I like that, and I like that you, even though your personality wasn't like that, that didn't scare you off. And good for you, Missy, for asking him what he wanted. Because let me tell you, let me tell you, even now in 2023, okay, that's a good question to ask 13 seconds in. Are you just here for sex? Because I don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? And if that's all, so what I'm finding, Warren, is that
Mm-hmm.
it's difficult for me in these here murky dating waters to find somebody a man who is interested in not building, but interested in being involved in my life. They just want the surface level. They just want to hang
Right.
out and have sex.
Right.
They're not trying to get involved into my life, my day to day, meet my family, for me to meet theirs. That's not what they're into right now. And I don't know if it's because they have a lot of options out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just waiting to get fat, ugly, and old, and then they want to settle down. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what's happening. But I tell you what, you come to me fat, ugly, and old when you like 70 something, and you out of there, buddy. I ain't gonna do it. And let me also put out there that I hope that I'm not single at 70 something. Let me just go and put that out there, right?
Yeah. Hopefully. Well, let me say this, Bree. So, and not saying that women need to go find broken men, because that is not what I'm saying by this. And I'm speaking solely about my situation
Okay.
because of what I had just came from dealing with the ex and the paternity issues with my oldest daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was actually very easy for me not to be looking for sex because I wasn't even like in a place where I wanted to risk having another child with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, no, that's not what I want
Right.
from you, because I was like that could end me in that situation again, and I'm trying to stay as far away from that as possible, which actually allowed me to cultivate a relationship with her,
Right.
because had it been a year before that or 2 years, because we kind of talked about Tall T. I was like, I was only probably a year removed from Tall T. My people know who Tall T is, but Tall
Yeah.
T Warren. But because that probably would have been what I would have been looking for. But because of what I had just finished going through, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't at a place where I was looking for it. So I could actually give her a real, genuine, no, that's not what I'm looking for, and really be honest about it.
Okay. Okay. And I like that. I like that I like that because that is not what's out here. Again, ain't nobody trying to go below the surface.
Right.
Everybody just wants real surface. They just want to be out here and play, and they want another notch on their belt. From the ones I've been running into. Now, maybe, it's just I've been dealing with the wrong ones. But the ones that I have been, that I have ran across in this 11-month, hiatus that I've been on, the singledom that I've been on, is that it's just real surface level. And nobody's trying to go deep anymore. And nobody wants to have a family and build a family with you and build a life with you, And so that sucks, Warren. Just thanks, sweet baby Jesus, that you're not out here. You and Missy are not, because it's raggedy.
Yeah. But see, Bree, on that token, and this is not to knock you or any other women or men in the opposite direction. You remember one of the things I shared with you about Missy, for me, I didn't even really care about like getting married. I figured I would one day, but I wanted to get married because of her. Like, because it could have been, I could have met another woman and only have been interested in being sexual or whatever the case may be. But it was her where I was like, I want this woman to be my wife. I want to be permanently attached to it, because it wasn't something I was looking for. Like I said, I just came out of a terrible like 3-year relationship. Like, I was not looking for something serious. I wasn't looking for a wife. I wasn't looking, like I said, it started from me just coming from a random Instagram comment. Like, I wasn't looking at all.
Right.
So like, I didn't have the family stuff in mind. I didn't have those things in mind. I didn't have anything in mind. I really didn't have any intentions at all. But once I knew how I felt about her and got attached at the hip, I became very intentional in what I wanted to do with her, even though I didn't initially have any intentions.
And I like that. And thank you for saying that. Terrence is saying because of her. Big facts, well said. And it is very well said. It is because of her. It was something about Missy that made you want to, live the rest of your life with her. And you didn't want to lose her, is what I'm putting words in your mouth. Please stop me if I'm wrong at any point. But I'm assuming, this was just one woman that you just didn't want to lose. You know what I'm saying? And miss out on. And I get that all day. So then, then maybe I'm not meeting the men that feel like I'm her, right? For them. And that's okay.
Right.
But be real with what your intentions are up front. If I'm saying that, hey, I want to, this is what I'm looking for. What are you looking for? And you're parroting me, or you're echoing, something that you think that I want to hear, then you're not being transparent, right? Whereas if you just be like, listen, this is what I'm looking for. I'm just looking to have fun. I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to get married no time soon. I don't like kids. I don't like you.
Right.
Something, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they're not doing that.
Yeah. Well, so 2 things. One, I did want to touch on what you said about didn't want to lose her. That's actually typically how I explain. Like when people say like, how did I know I wanted to marry Missy, or whatever the case may be. So I said, honestly, and not to make myself sound like a liar, but she's the first woman who I ever said, I don't know what I would do without you. And I actually really think that my life would be of lesser quality if she wasn't in it. Like, usually when I said that, I was like, well, I'd probably just be doing whatever I was doing before I met you. Like, I know exactly what I'd be doing if you weren't here. I'm just, saying it. Like, it was just something I was saying. But with her, I actually think my life would be of lesser quality. And I mean that even from a very, very, very early on, from step one. So that, and matter of fact, I'm going to share a story with that. Because I want to be like super, super transparent. And I hope I don't make her look bad, but it worked out. So I told you that paternity situation was going on with my ex. Initially, I didn't have any like intentions or anything with her. So my ex was pregnant at the time. There was no crossover, just for the record. We had broken it off in April of that year, and I met Missy, like I said, and I told you how I met. So it wasn't something I was looking for. I was not dealing with the ex any longer, but she was pregnant at the time. I was just dealing with her within context of the baby, waiting on the baby to be born so we could find out paternity. I didn't tell her about the baby initially.
Okay.
Then as we started getting more intent, I then became scared to tell her about the baby because I was like, she's going to leave me. But ultimately, I was like, I can't take that choice from her. So I have to tell her.
Right.
So the baby, my oldest daughter was born in September of that year. And I told Missy, I think late July, early August time frame.
Okay.
Because I didn't want anybody else to tell her.
Right.
Because I was like, she need to find out from me. Because she's been very honest and upfront with me. So I need to be honest and upfront with her because it was just something I omitted for most of the time. So I ended up telling her what it was, and she supported me through it, and she believed me through it. And the other piece that's I think important to that I just want to kind of add into that for the men, particularly, and I'm just speaking because I'm on that side of it. I wasn't blurring lines with the baby mama. I wasn't doing that. Let me double back stuff. Let me try to hit it sometime. Let me still be whispering sweet nothings in your, like none of that was going on. That was totally cut. So I created an environment where she could still trust me, and she was there to support me through it all during that time frame. So that's why I say even from the beginning, like she was really, really there for me because you're talking 3, 4, 5 months in. Like she had no reason to stay with somebody that got a baby on the way.
Right.
Yeah, like
Right.
yeah,
And then be supportive as she was,
exactly,
you know.
right.
No, that's dope.
Exactly.
That's dope. And does not make her look bad at all. Actually makes her look like a saint. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. It makes her look amazing. And so no, that's dope. And you know, all in all, Missy is a good woman, and that's what I've always known for her to be, right? And that's dope. And there's not a lot of, and you're a good man, and there's not a lot of good women and men. I think the pickings are slim.
Yeah.
Right now, you know what I'm saying? I think for the lack of a better analogy, it's like I feel like I'm trying to find gold at the bottom of a trash can.
Well, see, and this is the thing. I'm gonna keep it 100 again, Bree. So back to that because of Missy, I'm a good man for Missy. I'm not even certain that I will be a good man for other women. Like, because I think I shared with you, I've dealt with women who I thought were good wives. They just weren't my wife, so therefore I wasn't compelled to be with them. But I mean, I thought they did, you know, they were good women. I thought they were just generally good women that I've dealt with, but they just weren't my wife, so I wasn't pressed to do it or be
like
faithful
that.
or there. Like I just wasn't for whatever reason. Like I don't even have an explanation. I just wasn't.
No, I like that, and that's a good perspective that you put on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that they were good women, they just weren't whatever it was, it just wasn't for you at that point to, you know, but Missy was for you. It was her, like you said, right? No, that's dope. That's good. Sean Cobain said, greatly said. I hope I said his name right. Said, greatly said.
No, this is one of the joints to kind of add on to that for the women. Like when I kind of explain that concept to women, I said it's like dresses. For instance, you can have very pretty dresses, but you're not going to wear a cocktail dress to the beach just because it's pretty. Like that doesn't take anything away from the dress. It's just not fitting for that particular venue or that particular activity.
Yeah.
And that's the same way that I kind of like view. For me, that's the same way I like view women. Like it can be a pretty formal dress, but it's like you're not wearing it to the club. Like you're not wearing a wedding dress to the club, no matter how pretty it is. Like
you're right.
Like that's just the case. It doesn't, and it's not to say the dress is bad. The dress is great. It's just not for the club.
Well, then guess what? Then they need to leave me alone. if I'm not the dress for you, you need to leave me alone and send me on my merry way. How about that? When I say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and I want somebody to have a, future with, because so people misunderstand when I say the word looking. For those that don't know, I'm not out here searching for a man, but they do come, right? Across my plate, right?
Okay, talk your shit, Bree. They come, talk your shit. Milkshake bringing boys to the yard.
You know what I'm saying? And so when they avail themselves to me, I do a vetting process as I should, right? And I'm telling them this is what I want. You know, do you want the same things? And so this is when they be like, baby girl, they like to call you baby girl. Hey, good evening, Jaleel. This ain't what I want. I want to just play the field and until I'm fat, ugly, and old and bald. And then I'd be like, okay, then you give me the choice, right? To either continue to deal with you or not. But again, they're telling me what they think I want to hear. And then it turns out that that's not what they want. And so then leave the dress there. You know what I'm saying? Leave it. Right. Terrence is what they say. They'd be like, baby girl, come here, baby girl. Man, I'm 42 years old. Right. I ain't been a baby girl in a minute. But either that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So there's that. Okay, let's pivot. Bald, Keisha. They want to come when they. This is what I believe that these men. They have a whole bunch of options out here right now. The men that are my age, right? They got a whole bunch of options out here right now. They don't want to settle down. They've been through, a lot of them been through divorces and marriages and raising kids. And so if they find themselves single now, they just kind of want to play the field. That's what I'm finding, right? And so I personally believe that they're going to try to play the field until they old, fat, and bald. And then when they can't play the field no more because don't nobody want them, that's when they're going to want to settle down. And they ugly.
Let me see. According to my book here, that's a bald-headed lie. Okay. Yeah, no. I ain't no.
Okay, so you don't agree that they wait.
No. I'm talking about them. They be lying.
They are. They bald-headed lies. They future bald-headed lies.
Yeah, bald-headed lies.
So, okay, now let's talk about these marriage streets,
Yeah.
Because we had touched upon how some women just want you, not because of you, but because you're married. These old heifers. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that joint was like a crazy phenomenon for me. Oh, I just thought, hey, look, I got on the shirt. I got the shirt on.
You got my shirt on?
Yeah, I got the shirt on. I just seen it when I got it.
I don't like
got it on. Respectfully.
But
one of the things I noticed, women that curved me earlier on in my life, that like follow me on social media and see how I treat my wife or see different things, then come back and have said things to me like, I should have gave you a chance because you're a really good husband. And I like, never, you're a really good person. You're a really good guy. Like, you're a really good husband. And that always kind of seems disingenuous to me, just from the standpoint of like, no, you want what I can do for you, which goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, just because I did that for her does not mean I'll do that for you.
Right.
Okay. Like she gets the Benz, she gets the Gucci. I was like, you get nothing. I was like you wouldn't have got anything. Like, I don't know if you would have. Like, you weren't interested in me that way for whatever reason.
Right.
He said it feel like a victory lap. But I feel you, it does. I laugh about it. Me and Missy sit up and laugh about it because sometimes I show her the messages and we laugh about it. But yeah, like, it's just that because some women, and that's where I say it's the difference in a lot of times people look for a spouse instead of looking for a match. And I think if people would focus more on looking for a match and not these characteristics that they want from a woman or a man, I guess I'm kind of talking from my direction, but they see these things like, okay, you got XYZ, you're a good husband. That doesn't mean I'm
and that doesn't translate all the time to a good husband.
Right. Exactly. Or it doesn't translate automatically for a good husband for you. Matter of fact, kind of talking about us having those differences in personalities, because I'm not as spicy as she is, I'm able to sit back and listen and not get activated. I don't get activated very easily. I'm chill. So she can say whatever she wants to say to me, and I don't automatically get activated. Whereas somebody else who is equally as much higher, like, they getting activated immediately. Because one of the things I had shared with you when we were talking about it, recently I just apologized to Missy. It's been within the last 2 months that I've been going on this recent mental health journey, about not communicating enough, because I do just go silent and don't say anything. And I'd be having full arguments with her in my head and be like mad in my head. And I never said a word to her until it gets so bad that I just explode and have to let it out. And at that point, she's matching my energy, not matching what I said. So,
Yeah.
like the example I was giving you, Bree, if I call you, I'll be like, man, you're the best motherfucking lawyer I done seen, man. And you be like, bro, like, why are you talking to me like that, little bro?
Right. Right.
You ain't heard nothing I said.
Right.
I said something positive, but you heard none of it.
Right.
And she's responding to my energy. I know that about her. So what I needed to understand was I have to communicate early before I get to that level.
Yeah.
Because I already know she's not going to hear what I'm saying. She just hears how I say it. And then she's responding back. And now how you going to get mad when I told you you're doing something wrong? I was like, see, you ain't even listening to me. And she was like, you don't know how to talk to the grown people. Like, yeah, it's just stuff like that. And kind of going back and forth. So I think that was important to find a match, because I am so laid back. I can listen to her. And because she is so blunt and upfront, I know that I can actually bring my issues to her. And I can just say them exactly how I feel without her taking offense to it, because she understands me being blunt. Right. So that works good for us, because I rarely hurt her feelings.
Okay.
So
okay. Kind of I like that. And I like how y'all balance each other out, because that's what I'm hearing, is that it's a balance. And where you're calm, she's spicy, right? So we talked about this, how you have to you'll sick her on people.
Yeah, that's my pit bull. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, people, but I do call her my pit bull. Cause I told you that story, Bree, where I was talking on phone to customer service, and I was like, look, can you please, I think it was AT&T. I was like, can you please just do this? Because if you don't do this, then my wife's going to call back, or she's going to get on the phone, and it's not going to be quite as pleasurable when she get on the phone, and she's going to cuss me out, and then she's going to cuss you out, and then we're going to all have a bad day. If you can just go ahead and do this while I'm talking nice to you like this, it will really just work out best for everybody. I was like, I mean, I will go get her. That's why I like my lawyer. Yeah, because Bree, you the legal pit bull. That's why I like Bree. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, you do what you want to do. Okay, I'm gonna tell Big Sis it's not gonna go like you think. I was like, you might want to chill.
No, it ain't.
I was like, you might want to chill. Hey, look, I'm trying to be simple, but no, that's the thing. Like, because she don't mind going to that level about her. I always call her my Oprah. I've always called her my Oprah. Okay. But she don't mind going to that level if she needs to go to that level.
Okay. Jaleel says, in my past, I juggled a variety of women. I mean, in 1 month, I could sleep with 4 women or more. It was because I had no respect for my tempo, and I had a few dollars, so I agree with you. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that, Jaleel, where, the lack of self-respect is there to be transparent with yourself, let alone be transparent with other people, right? But that was in your past, and I don't know how old you are, Jaleel, but this was like 40 something. Like, are we still there? Like, where we can't even communicate at least our very basic desires or what we want for the sake of sleeping with a woman or being in the company of a woman, And I guess maybe I expect more from the men my age, but they're not showing me. The ones that I have encountered, again, I'm not saying this is everybody. The ones that I have encountered are not showing me, that they know how to act per their age. That's not what I'm seeing. So, but that's a very good insight, Jaleel. And Woman Breaking the Most says, Jaleel B. Holmes, that's great introspection. What are you going to say, Warren?
Question in that one, because you said me your age, and I don't want to go way off topic, but this has always been an interesting question for me, or interesting point. I feel that most men will, well, let me rephrase. Most women will initiate. Matter of fact, you used to be a family lawyer. Well, you're still a lawyer, but I know you don't necessarily do family law. So answer me this, so I can get it more official. That typically, for me, it seems like more women actually initiate divorces unless the man is leaving for another woman. And I say that to say
Mm-hmm.
that most men that are single, especially if they're divorced, were the reason they haven't really learned is because if it was up to them, they probably would still be
Married.
right in it. Because I'm little, you like they should know better, and I was like, I don't really think so, because it's not like they left because they wanted better, because they normally got left because they couldn't get themselves together. It's kind of where
Together.
I'm at, right? Because most men don't leave unless they leave for another woman, then they wouldn't be single. But that's just my opinion. You may have a more professional opinion on that.
So no, you're right. The statistics are that it's more women that file divorces. You're absolutely right about that. And a lot of men don't leave. You're right, and unless they have another woman or they just sick. There's some that are just
Yeah,
sick of her. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? They're like, no, we're not gonna stay. But other than that, I don't know that the men don't leave though. So here's
yeah.
my point of view. I don't know that the men don't do the divorce because they still want to be with her. All of them,
Yeah.
right? I don't know because what I find is that a lot of men don't do the divorces because they're lazy or don't want to. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to have to pay the lawyer, or they don't want to start the proceedings, so they kind of wait for her to do it. But it could be also a psychological thing that they're waiting for her to do it because maybe they don't really want to do it. I don't know, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the weird part to me. And then yeah, maybe they still are tied to her. Here's what I found is
Yeah.
that at this age, again, I'm getting the men that have been married and
Mm-hmm.
are now divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm finding that a lot of so they've been taught and groomed, for lack of a better word,
Mm-hmm.
by her.
Right.
So then they come over here wanting to do the same foolishness, right?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
her and him used to go at it and be at each other's throat, and that's how they fought, right?
Right.
And you yelling and screaming and calling her out her name, she yelling and screaming and calling you out your name, and that's how you were taught that's how y'all fought, right?
Right.
Then you come over here, you expect to yell
That's crazy. Right.
and that's not, no, boo, that's not healthy. We don't, you can't talk to me like that. Like, who are you talking to?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're picking up what they learned in the in the last home and bringing it with them, and I don't like that.
Right.
And so I'm finding there's a lot of broken men at this age. There just is.
Agreed.
I'm not gonna find somebody who hasn't been through something, who
Yeah.
hasn't been hurt. I'm not.
Well, this is the thing. I don't want to categorize all men or just make like this large stereotype. But if you have a man that's divorced, chances are the lady divorced him because he wasn't a good husband. Okay, just
Okay.
generalization. I know that does not fit every single aspect,
Correct.
but
Correct.
generalization.
There's exceptions.
Right.
Right.
If that's the case, when that same guy comes over, he doesn't know what he's doing to be a husband. That's why he got divorced the first time. That's why somebody left him, because he don't know what he's doing.
I'm gonna be
That's why somebody
single
left
for the
him the
rest of my
first time.
life. I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life, Warren, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
No,
Because
I ain't saying that.
I
I'm just
can't.
saying like that's just logically like that's why he's not still married. Like if he actually, granted, some men have, or some people, let me say people have the ability to self-reflect and grow,
Mm-hmm.
but if this are people who can't take accountability, which is runs rampant, people don't take accountability. I mean, like what do you want them to do? You know what I'm saying? Like if they haven't taken accountability and changed the things that made them not a good husband the first time, they still haven't learned how to be a good husband. Like granted, they could be a match possibly, but that's why I was like that's why they be on the foolishness. That's why they got divorced, because they was
So
probably
what
on
I'm
some
supposed to do?
foolishness.
What I'm supposed to do? What I'm supposed to do, Warren?
I'm gonna get back to you on that. I'm gonna get back to you. No, I mean just take it for a grain of salt, man. Protect you. Don't waste too much time. Protect your heart. I mean, it's no perfect. I mean, there's no correct answer. I'm generalizing. Like I said, there are exceptions. The fortunate and unfortunate thing is, you only need one person to do it right. You don't have to find 100 people to do it right. You just need one. That's the fortunate piece about it.
I'm finna listen. I done told my homegirl 2 day. I said, I'm sick of these dudes. I ain't dating nobody else. I'm gonna take a break, you know. And I'm talking about you. No, leave me alone. Don't come, huh? You want to talk to me, huh? No,
Yo.
don't come. I don't want it. I don't want it. Women breaking the most says, girl, I'm in my 50s and they still haven't done the inner work to be transparent. They haven't done the inner work to be anything. Not to be transparent, to be, like you said, a good, you know, husband or a good man. Like, it's a lot of broken men and broken women. Let me, on both ends, y'all. I'm not just saying it's just the men, the women as well are broken, and there's just a lot of broken people, and it's going to take work and having that self-awareness. And a lot of people don't have self-awareness. A lot of people do not have self-awareness, and that's sad to me.
Yeah. Now, Bree, I do want to offer one more concept, and it's going to be in this
want to
vein.
hear no more concepts of yours.
This one might be slightly better. This one might be slightly better for you. So, granted, we talking about, you know, because sometimes you have those marriages that just, you know, fizzle out because they run their course. So one of the things I frequently see on social media is, and this is a concept I came up with a couple of years ago, but I frequently see on social media, you know, why don't marriages last 50 years like they used to with our grandparents, you know, now? Why they 5, 10, 15 years now instead of 50? And so, in my personal opinion, I actually think marriages work just or last just as long if you actually look at the amount of time that people are in contact with each other. Because, you know, 50 years ago or whenever, you know, we say grandparents, so that way I know that I'm safe. Grandparents wise, you know, you got the husband, if it's a homemaker at the time with the women, you have the husband, you know, he getting up at 4 a.m., he headed to work. She not talking to him all day unless it's an emergency until he get home at 6. You know, they eat, maybe watch a TV show, go to bed, repeat weekends. So, but now, you know, you get up, you talk to them that same 4 a.m., say they had the same situation. You text them all day, you talk to them on the way to work. Even when you're not talking to them, you're looking at their social media, which is essence of them. So if you look at like actual minutes of interaction, I think that it's probably not that different. And so I say that to say that maybe some of these marriages are just actually running their course sooner and they grow apart. So those men probably would be okay and better if it ran their part. So it's not all of them, you know. I'm trying to find a silver lining here. But that's just one of those theories that I kind of have come up with that I think that we just talk way more because I literally talk to Missy all day long. Every single day.
That's amazing, Warren. It does not get me any better.
I tried to dig deep, sis. I tried to dig real deep for that. I tried to dig deep for it.
I appreciate you, little bro. So Terrence says these young females out here chasing these older dudes is part of the game now, and that's so the older dudes are wanting the younger women because they can, you know, the young women haven't been through anything yet, so they can mold them into the type of woman that they. My perspective. This is my Warren Terrence. Let me know if I'm wrong. My perspective is they're moldable, right?
Yeah.
To be the woman that, you know, women my age, you know, a man come and tell you, you know, I want you to quit your job and stay home and then just, you know, feed me, you know, all day. That's what I want you to do. You can't come to a 42-year-old and say that, right?
Right.
We got our own, you know, a single 42. I got my own house, my own cars, my own money, my own job, you know, and so I'm not going to quit my job to cater to you all day. You know, that's just not what my life is about. And so I feel like with a younger woman, and that's just an example, but I feel like with a younger woman, they're more moldable. What do you think, Warren?
So I agree with you wholeheartedly on all that. I think it's moldable. So granted, you know, obviously I have a podcast, but I'm not going to be one of those typical podcast guys where I start telling them like about what women and everybody need to do. However, I think that men need to stop trying to find women with job descriptions. Cook, clean, these are job descriptions. These are not mate descriptions. It's not that you don't want somebody that cooks and cleans. Like, I get it that you want it, but that shouldn't be the first thing out of your mouth.
Right.
Like I told you, for me, it was the trust, and that's for me, so I can only speak for me, but it was the trust. One of the things that stuck with me so much with Missy, all cooking aside, all cleaning aside, in 2020 when I had the pulmonary embolism,
Mm-hmm.
she came up there to the hospital after I was better. I was in the hospital. The nurse was getting ready to do a sponge bath on me because I couldn't get out of the bed, when I could only move to the chair and I couldn't walk and stand up to get in the shower. The nurse was going to do it, the CNA or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
It was their job to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And Missy was like, "No, it's my husband. I'm going to do it."
Mm-hmm.
Like that meant way more to me than any cooking, any cleaning. Because she, like, I hadn't even considered it. Like, it would have just been, the nurse doing the sponge bath. Like it was their job.
Right.
But
Right.
but she literally was like, "No, you're my husband. I'm going to do it.
I'm gonna
You're
take
my
care of you."
responsibility."
Yes.
Right. Like that meant way more to me because it was just that support. Also another time with that support where she like really came and stood behind me when my mom got in an accident. She got in a head-on collision and she couldn't, bottom half of her body was pretty much terrible, just couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hurting me to see my mom like that because I can be a bit squeamish. And to the point that I actually went back to work because I was just trying to get my mind off of it and it was hurting me. And Missy sat up there with my mom in my stead because she wasn't as squeamish as me. And it was like, and I felt so bad because I'm like, I'm leaving my mom. But she was like, "I got you." Because she was like, "It's me taking care of you too by taking care of your mom." Because I know that, like, because I couldn't bear to see my mom like that. And that's why I was like, just those things mean so much more to me.
Yeah.
And it's just me getting those like personality types and getting people who are really, really down for you and somebody that will reciprocate it. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That'll reciprocate that for you.
That art is lost, Warren. I don't, it's when I try to, again, when I'm meeting a man and I'm explaining, we're finding out about each other. What I'm finding is that art of I got your back, you got mine. A lot of them don't either A, don't understand it, or B, ain't trying to hear that, right? Because that is just that's not what they're looking. They don't want to have your back. The ones I'm running into, again, I don't know. I'm not saying all guys like this, but the ones that I'm running into are not here for that partnership and that type of companionship. And that's a lost art. And people don't understand what that means. And that's exactly, Missy has exhibited exactly what that means, right? I got you. Like, you don't have to worry about it. I got you. And I think that's dope. And I think that's exactly what you should be striving for in a relationship, is to have somebody who has your back like that.
Absolutely.
Terrence says you are not going to be single the rest of your life. You would talk to God for me, because I've been talking.
Hey, Terrence, don't go down that road, but I tell her that all the time. She was like, "How you know, Warren?" I was like, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm just trying to make you feel better, sis. I don't actually know. I'm sorry. Don't go down the road, Terrence. Don't do it.
You know what I'm saying? Selena says trauma bonding is real. It really is. Sean Cobain said passport bro logic. Listen, I've been hearing about these passport bros. I don't know much about them other than what I see when I'm scrolling, but it sounds like a bunch of tomfoolery to me.
I agree.
And somebody posted today that they saw a group of men that looked like they were passport bros, and now they understand why they got to fly the country, why they got to fly the coop to go search elsewhere for a mate. Do these people know? So coming from somebody who has a background or has family in another country, right? Do they know? Again, I don't know much about passport bros, just from what I've heard here and there, right? But do they understand that, because I understand that they shit a lot on the women in America, like the black women in America. But do they understand that if they ugly in the United States, they're probably ugly over there too? And the only reason that they get in these women is because literally the dream is the American dream for a lot of these women.
So, simple answer, yes, they understand. Because I too have actually said that. To the point, no, I'm joking with Missy sometimes. I was like, "Hey, look, I'm probably not getting married again, because if I can't make it work with you, I can't make it work with nobody. However, if I do so choose, I was like, I'm probably about to because people call me a dream seller. And I was like, yeah, I said, I'm probably going to go to the Dominican and sell the biggest dream of all time, the American dream. I was like, hey, baby, you want some citizenship? What's good?
What's good?
Yeah, what's good?
What you
It don't
want
matter
this
what.
green card? What's good?
Yeah, you feel me though? Yeah, so no, I think they do totally know that. Because it just allows
What
them to be
part do they
somebody they
know?
want to
That
be.
they're
Huh?
ugly? Or okay, and I'm not saying all passport bros are ugly,
Yeah.
but this is what this particular post was saying, that there's a reason why they
Well,
got overseas. So do
what
they
they
know that they can't pull, or do they know that the women only want a green card?
well they, in my personal opinion, they think that black women can be entitled, and they feel
Mm-hmm.
like those women don't act as entitled,
Because
and
they
so
have a hidden agenda, or not a hidden agenda, but there's an agenda.
right. And so that's ultimately what I think behind that. Because even with that, I told you like Missy's black, and obviously I grew up in a family with interracial. Like my dad was married to a German lady. My sisters are biracial, so like I don't have a problem with like interracial marriages. But I just always had planned to marry a black woman. Like that was just always what I planned to do. Um, and so for me, I don't, like you said, all the shitting on black women, this, that, and the third. I was like, I love black women. I was like, all the women I love most in the world are all black. I was like, love black women. So for me, trying to find something else, not so much. Yeah, not so much.
It's just I'm gonna have to look into that passport bros some more, and just
Yeah,
I'm
agree,
not
agree.
out here just saying whatever. But that's what it seems like to me. I'm like, did they know that? Okay, they be like, look at this woman right here. She fine, and she does everything that I say. She has to. You are the only thing between her and a green card,
Right.
and all she wants to do is send money over to her family to help her family. You know what I'm saying? Come up
Mm-hmm.
and then bring them over.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's a generalization, but I'm just saying,
No,
like,
but you're right.
that American dream is real for people that don't live in America, y'all. And
Mm-hmm.
I know because they my cousins and my aunties and them.
Yeah.
Get your lives together. Anyway, so Terrence says, and they can't mold them. Them young hoes are taught by the internet. It doesn't line up.
Ooh, he ain't never lied.
Listen, Terrence is going hard
Nah,
today.
but he real
So
though.
nobody's
He real
moldable.
though.
Listen. No, so for the moral of the story, according to Terrence and Warren, is that nobody is moldable. Get you a woman your age and stop playing before you fat,
Yeah,
bald, and ugly.
yeah. Cause
Okay?
them relationship goals, man. Them ain't y'all goals, man. Y'all need to pick some relationship goals for y'all between y'all.
Yeah.
Finding them on the internet ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. June Marie says, I agree. You got a real one. Sean Cobain says, my old lady ain't too bad. That's good, Sean Cobain. I'm glad that your old lady ain't too
Yeah,
bad. And
no,
that's what
no.
that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out to Pegs, man. Shout out. Them
Work
some
with
of my
what you
peoples.
got.
Them some of my
Oh,
peoples. Matter of fact, they
oh,
up in
that's what's
your
up.
yeah, they up in your area.
That's
I ain't gonna give it around, but they
in
up in
Dallas?
your neck
Okay.
of the woods.
Oh.
Yeah, they up in Dallas. Nah, you good. Yeah, nah. You like in
Like in
Dallas?
Dallas?
In Dallas? Well, you want their address? You want their
You
address?
want me?
Nah, but no,
You
they
want
up in the
my
Dallas area.
address?
Yeah, them are my
Um,
people. Nah, they definitely great people.
and that's what's up. And that's so Drew Marie says, do you think they don't want it or just wasn't exposed to it? Oh, Drew Marie. I don't know. I'm assuming we're talking about healthy relationships. Drew Marie, help me out. And I'm gonna come back to your if you're still on, I'm gonna come back to your comment. Help me out in what you were referring to there. Mimi says he coming, friend. Listen, Mimi, I ain't sweating them, but I'm finna mind my business. I ain't sweating nobody. It is what it is.
What?
Talking about the lost art. Oh, the lost art of having their back, of having each other's back. Do you think they don't want it or just wasn't exposed to it? That could very well be that they weren't exposed to it. That could they don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to have somebody's back.
Agree. Agree.
Here's where I'm at though in this whole thing, Drew Marie, is that at this old age of 42, I can't, like, you have to come ready made to an extent, right? To an extent, I will work with a man. So don't misunderstand me. I will work with a man. I will work through some issues. We can grow together, learn together some things, but there's just certain basics that I need an individual to have at this age now. And being aware of what a healthy relationship is one of those. Knowing what a partnership is, what companionship means. That's just the basics for me. Knowing how to kiss, Warren. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's you know,
Yeah.
you can
Well,
tell some people just didn't have no practice.
and that goes back to the love language thing, like knowing what means something
Yeah.
to someone, because some people like to touch, some people are not affectionate, and you need to find somebody who can understand and adapt to that love language.
Yeah. And part of my love language is loyalty. And that loyalty is that having each other's back thing. That's a big thing for me. And if you're not loyal, then you the ops.
Yeah.
like there's no gray area
No,
for me.
I'm glad you said that. This is something I do want to address while we in the vein of marriage and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows communication, but especially within the realm of infidelity, cheating, stop assuming that people know not to cheat. I get that it seems to be common knowledge. It seems, but based on how many people do it, it's not common knowledge. There needs to be an actual conversation about the things that you would consider cheating. And I don't mean, oh, if I see you
Oh,
looking at that girl, I'm gonna bust you over. That's not a conversation. You know
right.
what I'm saying? That's
I
not
see
a
what you're saying.
conversation. Yeah, like
I see.
actually having a conversation about it.
So hey, when you can look at other women, you got eyes and you're a human. You can look if we're in the mall and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't stop like if we're having a conversation, don't just completely stop, turn your head, start following the chick type of conversations.
Right. Well, see, this is the
It's
thing.
sad that that even has to be said. Just
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. But it obviously does. I mean,
yeah,
you've been a family lawyer, so you already
yeah,
know what's up.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like actually having that conversation and having it within the realm of, matter of fact, even what you said, um, I would even turn that a little bit on, if you do something like that, it's going to bother me. Somebody that's really down for you and really loyal to you isn't going to do it because it would bother you, not because you have to mandate them not to do it.
If you and I like that. I like that approach. If you do this, I find it disrespectful. I find that
Right,
that you are disrespecting me. And
right,
like you said, somebody cares about you. They would like I know if I'm really into a guy and I'm with my dude, I don't want to do anything that he would find disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
So I know
right,
that's how I would operate. So yes, if if you drool over another chick in my face,
right,
I find that
right,
disrespectful. Okay,
exactly. And that's
I
actually
like
having that
that. I like
conversation.
that. Communicate. Don't
Right,
just assume that they know that that's disrespectful to you.
right,
Communicate that.
exactly. Because this is the thing, for it to be something that people hang their hat on and it's so in tune that we're going to end the relationship because I caught you doing it, but you created an expectation that you never communicated because you assumed that they knew. But I was like, how did they know? Like, how do you know that they knew if you never had a conversation with them? And I'm like, and I'm not talking, hey, look, you talking to, you texting so and so, or you texting another woman, and we sitting here watching a movie. I'm gonna feel disrespected, and you need to get out of my house. But I was like, but you never told them that. It was when it's as simple as a conversation. When you're talking about a life partner, is as simple as a conversation of, look, when we're watching a movie, I really like being intent, and it would be appreciated if we could not have phones during a certain time. That person that cares about you is going to take the time to do that. And if they don't take the time to do it, even if they're not texting whoever, even if they're not doing something wrong, that's already a sign that they're probably not who you think that they are. There's certain things that because over time we learn to communicate
Yeah,
about it. There's certain things that I'm not going to do, or certain things that Missy will do or I won't do, because we learn that about each other over
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And specifically within the realm of cheating and infidelity, it happens too frequently not to have a conversation about it.
But we're not talking about the obvious of going out and actually having
Say,
sex with somebody outside of your
well,
relationship,
this is
right?
actually the thing that needs to be a conversation too. It happens too much for it not to be. It
Because
happens
I think
way too
people
much.
think they can get away with it.
And this is the thing. But I do agree with that. We should know, but obviously they don't. And that's the thing of even just creating that open ended, because ultimately you don't want anybody to feel like they're in jail, and just having the conversation of, hey, look, I would like us to be monogamous at this point, or we both agree that we're monogamous. If that changes, can you not take my choice from me and inform me that you no longer wish to be a monogamous? And this is the thing. At the end of the day, you want somebody that's going to be honest with you. And so you have to create an environment where they're not scared to come and tell you something. I was like, if I know that you're going to bust me in the head when I tell you, I'm not going to tell you, and I'm going to try to get away with it. And I was like, but if you don't want me, if you don't want somebody feeling like they're in prison, have a conversation with another adult. Like, if this is the thing now, if you've had that conversation like that, and then they do it, they already knew they was getting busted in the head. You're not wrong at that point. Like, that's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying never bust them in the head, but you had the conversation. Yeah, I'm not even saying that. Like, you had the conversation in a calm way. I was like, if it's something really that important to you, it's worth having a calm conversation about.
And so I will say this. Okay, so my last relationship, 11 months ago, you know, we had the conversation. Like, listen, I don't do cheating. That's not my thing, you know, and one of the things that's a hard pass for me and a immediate, you know, like this is my deal breaker is cheating, you know, so cheating is that's just not a thing for me. Right. He cheated. That's why we're not together anymore. And now he was 50-some years old now. Let me go put that out there. He was like 52, 53. So he was too, you know, because I was like, well, let me date older because they got to be tired at 50. Okay? You know, they got to be tired. So I don't have to deal with the same things I would have to deal with, you know, and they got to be more mature and more and wiser and, you know, and they've been there, done that. That should be out their system. I went promptly back on down to my age range because you're not going to cheat on me and I got to fight with you on the radio, right? That's just too much, right? So I said, let me go on back down to my age. But that did happen. And again, that was after the conversation because I make it very known what my deal breakers are. And that's my deal breaker is that you can't cheat on me and expect me to still be there because I ain't gonna do it. So, you know, but I do agree that you have to, although it seems really childish to have to tell somebody, hey, if you have sex with another woman, I'm out of here. I feel like you do it just so that you can say that you can't say they never knew. They can't say they never knew. I didn't know.
Right.
You never told me that if I cheated, you know? So that's why I do it.
Yeah, no, and that's why. Well, so because I do actually agree with you. The reason why I take that stance on it because it's ultimately about having that partnership and being able to have that communication and that open communication. Like I'm comfortable enough with Missy to go and talk to her about whatever. Even if I mess up, I'm comfortable with her enough to go and tell her that because we've been able to create certain boundaries to tell her. That's why I was apologizing about not communicating because she's never created a place where I couldn't communicate. Now, granted, she can be strong and I was a little scared, but I was like, she never did anything to me. That was my personal fear, but it wasn't something she created. That was something I had to fix about me. But and vice versa, like I have her, I was like, look, I get it. I would hope that you would just never be interested in another man like that. However, I do understand that things change, people change, needs change, wants change, XYZ, people evolve over time. I get it. I was like, all I'm asking is come talk to me.
Yeah.
Because she watching. I'm not saying I'm going to be okay with it, but the fact that you will come talk to me, I'm willing to have, like, that means you care enough about me to consider my opinion.
And your feelings, yeah.
Like, so you can at least, you bring it to me. The answer going to be no, but you can still bring it to me. Like, you can still bring it to me. No, but in all seriousness, like, let's have a conversation because chances are there could be something deeper there. And, like, let's really talk about it. Like, what's going on? What's the situation?
Yeah.
Instead of me just immediately getting emotionally triggered because, well, I want another man. Okay, what's going on here? Like, what? Like, what's going on? Talk.
I'm emotionally triggered.
Yeah, I know, and that's fine. And that's fine as long as y'all are okay with that. As long as everybody's okay
Who?
with that, who you and whoever you end up with.
That
Soon.
I'm
Soon.
emotionally triggered if you say you want to be with another woman, that you want to cheat on me?
Okay, don't get emotionally triggered at me. Okay.
that
I didn't say
what?
that. Yeah, she was like, "They what? They what?" Okay, okay. So I didn't do that. I didn't say that.
Okay.
But no, in all seriousness, like just being like, Bree, I'm going through something. Either I'm interested in someone for whatever reason, it's not you, XYZ. Like if I can't come to you and be honest, then like why am I here? If I can't just come to you and be blatantly honest and still give you that same ability. Like I hate when people don't give you the same ability either. Because you got to be able to
I
take it
don't want to
vice
talk
versa.
about it. If you feel like you're interested in another woman, then let's just break up. Like, what am I
Yeah,
going? Because then, what's the conversation?
yeah. Well,
Oh
that's possible
no,
too. But that's good too.
don't do it. Let me convince you of my worth and my value so you can stay. Like, what are we talking
Yeah.
about?
No, no,
Like, if
no.
that's how you feel, then I mean, God bless. Like, I don't. What are we?
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know. I
this
want
is
to have that conversation. Now, mind you,
yeah.
I'm not. So it's different for y'all because y'all are actually married, and you have to
Right.
have. I feel like you have to have
Yeah, yeah.
that conversation, and I have not been there in my life yet. However, at this point in my life, right now, if you come to me and say there's another woman I'm interested in, and I want to be with her, I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. Reasonably so. Reasonably so. I agree.
So I'm
I
like, I
do.
don't. Okay, so Ray says we all got that. Love your blessings, and Ray also says sex ain't shit. At this grown age, it really ain't. It has to be more than that. You have to
Yeah.
offer me more than just sex. What else can you bring to the table? And women too, because I understand that we are still at this old age using that, peddling that around. What do you bring to the table other than your coochie? You gotta bring something else, right?
Yeah.
Um, can't nobody build with no coochie.
No.
So what else you got? What is your skill set? What is your what's your pros? What else you got? You bring it to the table. So there's that. Okay, real quick, Warren. Before we get off this
Yeah.
line, I just want to talk about marriage and sex. Can
Yeah.
we just real quick
Yeah.
touch on that?
No.
And
In that. Oh, go ahead.
go
Sorry. I mean, cut you
ahead.
off.
Go ahead.
I ain't in that same vein that you were just talking about. You have to bring more than sex, especially within a relationship, because one of the age-old things. A lot of times, especially for women or men towards women, the sex wanes after a while in the relationship, or it's not as frequent, or it's not
Mm-hmm.
same. But like I told you, that stuff changes over time because people evolve, and it's not even always just it waning. Like you're going through things.
Yeah.
Mental health stuff,
Yeah.
body
Life.
changing, yeah, life,
Yeah.
body changing, having babies, we
Mm-hmm.
getting new careers, we stress, different things, just different things. Like we got kids in here. Like one of the things for us now, Faith, she know how to open doors. So we be scared because she know how to open doors. She just bust in there, like, "Hey, how you doing?" All right, yeah, yeah. But just that kind of stuff. So it changes over time, and those dynamics change. So you have to bring more to the table than sex. One of the things I was kind of sharing with you is like it changes. It's not going to be the same dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to capture that like initial dynamic that you
Yeah.
get from sex early on, but nothing in life is the same dynamic. Your job is not the same as the very first day you start. Like nothing is ever the same. But I told you like when you first get with a girl, you may need, or a woman, or y'all get together, I may need like 30 minutes to figure out her body and figure out what she
What she
likes,
likes.
and figure this out. And I was like, I've been with Missy 10 years. I might need 3 minutes. I know exactly what she like. Yeah, I was like, it don't take me a long time. I know exactly where I'm going.
Uh,
So I don't need it. I don't need all day.
mm-hmm.
Like I used to, or whatever the case may be. So it's just one of those kind of things that I think some people will prioritize it really, really highly
Mm-hmm.
within the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's kind of a personal preference. But if you're going to get married to someone, there has to be other aspects about them that you
Right.
really, really
Right.
enjoy.
Right. Right. And I like that you touched upon the fact that the sex may change, or that it is going to change. Not may,
Yeah.
it's going to change.
Hmm.
Just because life happens. And like you said, the frequency may not be as much as it was at the beginning. And then the excitement is different.
Yep.
Not saying you don't still get excited, but that initial excitement is different than it is 10 years down the line, right?
Right.
And nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about how sex kind of changes in your relationship. Nobody talks about how the same excitement ain't there anymore,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, like I shared, like with Missy, for instance, I still love her. I still love her body, but I've been looking at her body for 10 years. I know exactly what it looks like. I know every single inch of her from the top to the bottom. So it's not a surprise to me like it was the first time or the first couple of times or this, that, and the third. Like, so I have to look at it from a new, I think when we were talking about it, I kind of used the example of a roller coaster. The very first time you go on a roller coaster, you don't know which way it's curving, you don't know which way it's turning, you don't know when your stomach gonna drop. But every time you ride it after that, you know exactly where you're going, and it's still fun. It's just fun in a different way. It's not the surprise fun. It's like, okay, I know this curve coming. Let me hold on. Let me lean this way. Let me do that. Let me prepare myself this way. So it changes over time, and I don't think enough people they want that first time the entire time, and that's just not what it's going to be. And especially when you come from a background of being promiscuous and you're constantly dealing with new women, it's almost like, yeah, you're having regular sex, but you're having it with different people. So it's like you're getting that first time and time again. Right. So it seems boring or like it's not changing, and it kind of, you have to adjust with that.
I like that you said that. And so do you think that's why some men cheat? Is that thrill of that first time excitement type of deal? Like, could that be a reason why some, not all,
yeah,
why some?
to be totally honest, I'm actually going to say no.
Okay.
So I think I don't even think it has anything to do with the nature of that. I don't think it has, like, it could potentially be a reason. So yes, I could say it could potentially be a reason, but ultimately I think it's something deeper within, a personal battle. And the reason I say that is because well, I don't know, nowadays they do, but I was like, for the most part, they just never magically, like go decide to cheat with someone of the same sex. Like they find another woman, but I guess it might change nowadays. So never mind about that. But like, point being, what I'm kind of getting at about that is there's still limits and restraints to the way in which they cheat and do things. So it's something controllable, and it's something different that doesn't have anything to do with her or the relationship, or vice versa, or the woman. Yes, you can feel, like, for instance, I kind of give you an example about things with me. There was time periods when sex may have waned in our relationship, and what it triggered for me was me feeling like I wasn't good enough or feeling like I wasn't enough.
Okay.
That's a me problem. I have to know that I'm good enough. And it didn't have anything to do with that. It was just, we're going through life changes. I had to learn that. But had I elected to go out and get a mistress or get somebody else, it would have been, I was like, because she's not doing it. It was like, no, because your self-esteem wasn't high enough that you knew you were enough, and you were valuing the sex and trying to use that as a fulfiller. Because that was actually something that I learned that I did doing therapy.
Okay.
I constantly tried to use sex as a fulfiller for my ego and feeling like I was enough. So that's why I was promiscuous when I was early, because I was trying to fulfill myself with sex.
Okay.
And so then when I became married, it's like, okay, I can deal with just having sex with this one woman. However, if I'm not getting at a certain frequency, it's not fulfilling my I'm not enough logic. So definitely now I'm like, wait, am I not good enough? Does my wife, is she not attracted to me? And I ask her, and once again, Missy's very blunt. If I ask her, she was like, yes, I'm attracted to her, or I'm attracted to you. So that's not what it is. So it's like, what is it? It can be other underlying things.
Yeah.
But that would have been a me thing. That wasn't a her thing.
Right.
Yeah. So for that reason, I say no.
That's good. And first of all, kudos to you for going to therapy.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there. I'm very, very proud of you for putting it, going to therapy. And I'm proud of you for putting it out there that you've been going to therapy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know that was, that's not a thing that you would normally do. So kudos to you. I'm very proud of you on that.
Well, I'm mental health. I'm the mental health homie now.
Now you the mental health homie, baby. Now you the mental health homie. And so Carlos says yes, and I ain't had none in a minute. I'm sorry to hear that, Carlos. I don't know.
Sorry, buddy.
You know, stick in there. But Warren, I appreciate you for sharing all that. I think that's super, super. I mean, you've been transparent throughout the whole show.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you. We this has been fun. This has been fun.
Always.
But I know we both got kids we gotta go tend to, so I'm gonna go ahead and
I actually got another podcast interview I gotta jump on.
When? What time?
A minute ago. It's good. Nah, he good. We good. Already let him know.
Okay, we're gonna go out. C.No. Brown says not the mental health homie. That's the mental health homie at this
You
point.
feel me? No, that's my best friend.
Oh, hey, best friend. So, okay, Warren, so that you can get on out here. Tell the people how they can follow you, what you got going on, how to support you.
Of course, the podcast, which typically is financial literacy, but I am focusing on mental health this season. Okay. So the podcast, definitely follow the Instagram so y'all can see all the $400 toasters, the $200 coffee cups, all that good stuff. Yeah, I just dropped the $200 coffee cup today. Check out the Amazon store. Podcast, anywhere pods can be casted. Links in the bio, so definitely catch that. And everything, the Young Millionaire and Trainer, all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Y'all follow the Young Millionaire and Trainer. Make sure you listen to his podcast. It is dope. He is talking about some, covering some dope topics. Just good stuff, good content, good stuff, good people. So make sure that you are following him. Are you Young Millionaire in Training on this one?
It's on Instagram? _YMIT_podcast.
Okay, so make sure y'all follow him on there. Make sure y'all follow me. It's _lawyer. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube at Reality TV 1. At Reality TV 1. And then y'all, this is the second to last episode, y'all. Next week is the last episode of season 1. I'm done, Warren. I'm done with season 1.
Congrats, sis. Congrats. You knocked it out. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank y'all for tuning in this week. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all's support. Warren, thank you. You've been amazing. And I am going to let you go so you can get on your next podcast, Mr. Celebrity. I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.